What is up, Ramley? What is up? Just a quick, tiny video talking about the Rams and letting go Wade Phillips, you guys. I don't know how you guys feel about this. I've heard some of the comments on the community page on my YouTube channel, and a lot of people want to move into like the 4-3 defensive scheme, the defensive system. Other people like the 3-4. To me, it kind of doesn't matter as long as you get after the quarterback, which we used to do a lot when we used to play the 4-3 back in the Jeff Fisher era. Unfortunately, the offense was so terrible. It was like 32nd, 30th in offense that it really just kind of wasted the potential that we had on defense. So now that we have had progress with, Wade Phillips, it's kind of difficult to really give him the props that he deserves, because he did take us to the Super Bowl. He did make it to, it was one of the best coaching hires, in my opinion, that Sean McVay has made, that any rookie head coach has made, is bringing in a guy like Wade Phillips that can, put in his defensive scheme. But then again, you get these games like the Buccaneers and the Ravens and, losing these really, really close games versus the 49ers at Seattle that, the players play too. The players are also to blame, but then you also have to take credit as coach. And, well, he didn't do himself any favors when he was out there not stopping teams. The Buccaneers game was the first one, I think, that was pretty bad. And the second one was that loss to the Niners. To me, that was a big no. Like, that was one of the reasons why I think Sean McVay kind of thought about it, and he's like, let's not bring him back. Let's maybe get a new face, a new stadium, a new era. The good thing about Wade Phillips is he tried to take us to the Super Bowl, man. He almost got us one. The Patriots only scored 13 points. It was McVay and his offense that choked that game. So I give credit to Wade Phillips. I give credit to Wade and his expertise, because he's one of the most knowledgeable. He's going to be in the Hall of Fame when everything's said and done. Like, once he takes over your defense, it's done. Like, you're going to improve. And that's what happened. The Rams weren't that good anyways on defense in 2016. And then he comes in, and we struggled against the run, but we were pretty decent against the pass, and we got sacks and stuff like that. But then it really took off when we got in Ndamukong Suh. We still struggled with the run during the regular season, and then when we hit the playoffs, and Ndamukong Suh started making plays. Aaron Donald was really, maybe he wasn't making as many plays, but he did come in and stop the run as well. And then against the Patriots, we were pretty close, you guys. We were pretty close, but it just wasn't good enough. But how much of that are we going to blame on the defensive coordinator? You know what I mean? Like, while Wade started getting his guys on defense, little by little, he started improving. And we started out with all these 4-3, scheme players. Like, he ended up putting Robert Quinn at outside linebacker, and basically Robert Quinn didn't know how to play that position. You know what I mean? Like, you only have a set group of players that you can play in that position, and if you don't got the guys for it, then you're really not going to take off. And that's what happened with the Rams, is they didn't really take off in 2017. And little by little in 2018, after the draft and free agents, we got Dante Fowler. And then 2019, defensively, we actually improved from 2017, 2018, and 2019. But we ended up letting him go for reasons unknown. So who knows what might come, if it's going to be a scheme change. But this is just something that I saw on Twitter. 2018 Rams scored 527. In 2019, the Rams offense scored 394. So that's a big drop-off. But the Rams defense in 2018 allowed 384, but the 2019 Rams allowed only 364. So it doesn't make sense to me why we let him go. I think as you get the right pieces for his defense, it's proven that he knows what he's doing. You know what I mean? But this could hurt us. This could help us. It all depends, because there's also times where we didn't get after the quarterback. We didn't scheme right. We just kind of did what Wade Phillips does, and it's just blitzing the quarterback, or he's doing certain things. But maybe with a new coach, a new philosophy, maybe it's the same 3-4 system, just the coach takes different approaches to different teams. Maybe that could help. We could have a number 1, number 2, number 3 defense. I think the best that we ever got technically with Wade Phillips was number 9, and that was this season. Even though it wasn't perfect, it was still decent. But the Rams' offense was like 15th. At times we were terrible. Like, we couldn't run the ball, we couldn't throw the ball. So that in itself is going to be Sean McVay's doing. But when it comes to Wade Phillips, he's going to make a team very, very good defensively. Just give him the type of players. And there's rumblings that he might be going to the Giants. There's rumblings that he might be headed to Miami. Like, all these teams that are picking up coaches right now. Another one is going to be the Panthers. So it could change, man. It all depends on the scheme too. So this could be a blessing in disguise for Wade, or this could be something that he gets in a situation where they're dysfunctional. But I'm sure Wade's old enough to where he doesn't want that type of drama, and he just wants to go to a sure enough operation like the Rams were. You know, they got brought in a rookie head coach. You were the knowledge of the league at the time. So Wade Phillips was more the knowledgeable guy. I'm pretty sure he was teaching Sean McVay everything that he could teach him, and they parted ways this season. So we'll see what happens. But you know, there's rumblings that the Rams are also looking to hire people from the inside, and someone that I thought was, you know, a pretty good get if we can, you know, get him and promote him would be. I think it's DB's coach, what's his name? Aubrey Pleasant. If you guys don't know Aubrey Pleasant, he is a guy that I've seen in training camp. He's a guy that's been on certain videos on Twitter for the Rams and has done certain interviews. And he actually, he's got that swagger, man. He's got that swagger. He seems to be very young. He's like the defensive version of Sean McVay. So we'll see what happens. That's my guy that I would like to see. Other people want to go back to a 4-3. I'm not sure if Aubrey is a 4-3 or 3-4. I'm guessing he's a 3-4 because he was with Wade this whole time. But I mean, everybody's got their own style, you know, defensive style. He can be a multiple 3-4 where he can, you know, interchange from a 3-4 to a 4-3, or he might be just a 3-4, base 3-4. But to me, as long as this defense improves, the thing is, this might be a difficult situation for this season because we have some things to fix on the offense, but then we also have all these question marks on the defense. Other than Aaron Donald, that defensive line, it doesn't scare me to get after the quarterback on that defensive line, though. So I'm not scared about Michael Brockers. I'm not scared about Greg Gaines or Sebastian Joseph there, you know. But then the edge rushers, you're gonna have Dante Fowler going in free agency probably. Clay Matthews is with the Rams for one more year. I see him staying with the Rams. Okoronkwo's still on the team, so I think we'll move on from Dante Fowler, but we'll keep Clay Matthews just because, you know, he's a pretty cheap deal. But we also don't know what's going to happen with the inside linebacker position. And then the secondary looks pretty good other than Jalen Ramsey's extension. So we're not sure how much it's going to cost or whether or not they'll actually do it. I think for sure they're going to do it. It makes no sense if they traded 2 firsts and like a 4th for Jalen Ramsey, and then he ends up, you know, not staying with the team. That would be the biggest L, I think, in Rams history, to be honest with you. So a lot of question marks, but I'm sure they'll get it semi-right. I mean, how bad can you get it wrong? I mean, all these players leave, and you're stuck with a bunch of, you know, undrafted free agents and free agents that are cheap. I doubt that. So we'll see what happens, you guys. But let me know who you would like to see as defensive coordinator, or what kind of scheme. Are you shocked by, you know, Wade Phillips leave it? I kind of am, because I saw that he was improving little by little. But not all the blame goes to him, you guys. Like, I know a lot of you guys want to blame Wade, and he does take most of the blame for losses like the Buccaneers and losses like the like certain games, like the Panthers game. We didn't get any real plays. The Ravens game was terrible, but that was terrible on both sides of the football. But the defense really didn't do anything at all. So you gotta have to wonder, maybe that's something that Sean McVay was looking at and thinking and taking into account, being that this was the last year for Wade Phillips. I just feel like the experience is gonna go down. You're basically letting go of a Hall of Fame defensive coordinator because of one bad season that was basically to blame for the offense. You know what I mean? So I just don't want that to mess up our progression going into the next year. That's all I'm saying. But until next time, you guys, leave a like, leave a share, leave a comment. Let me know what you think, and go Rams.